Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Williams Return to Glory. In this episode, we are going to Singapore and Suzuka. Alright, so from the driver's screen, we have not met terms with Liam Lawson. He's still upset with the cash that we offered him, so we're going to just see if we can get him for 14. And yeah, we're going to send this through. Alright, so here's the pit crew. We're going to go through and do some rotation real quick and potentially hire some new people. Alright, so looking at the pit crew, we've gone through and we've rotated. I actually hired somebody who is statistically perfect, so that is a cool find. Alright, so from the mail screen, we got stuff about the last race. We got an interview with Alex Jax. Alex Albon has claimed that your engine seems to be team back. That is true, but we need to tell him to button it. Alright, so from the driver's screen, Lawson has rejected our last offer. I mean, I guess we're gonna go for, or the max is 24. Let's go 18. Yeah, and then we'll send that through. Alright, so looking at your Formula 2 results, we have Timo Bernard winning the race. I think he did it last time too. We have Robert Kubica and Robert Masson on the podium. Kind of funny, you got French, third, fourth, fifth. We're going to scroll through the results fairly quickly. We're going to look over at the right and see that Ticktum is still up front. He's only got 7 points over Bernard. So you got this kind of top 3 pack here, and then we got like a decent, I mean, Formula 2 has just been extremely tight this year. It's been very interesting to see. Looking at the Teams Championship, we have ART ahead of Prema, ahead of Van Amersfoort. Yeah, it's still top 3 battle here. High Tech a little bit in the middle, but still in touch with Van Amersfoort and with MP behind them. Then this is all close up until you get to Shrews and Campos. But yeah, this is very, very close. Alright, so here's your Formula 3 results. You have your winner, Earl Bamber, ahead of Louis Foster and James Headley. We're just going to scroll through these results. And then looking at the championship, James Headley has actually overtaken Nico Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg had a very, very good lead, but Headley has been just on fire. And I believe he won the F3 championship last year in our career too. Yeah, Earl Bamber, third place, fairly spread out for the top 3 here. You got 2 guys up top, Bamber kind of in the middle ground, then you have Degrassi right behind, and then you got a fairly big pack all the way down to Posma, who's 11 points ahead of Small Yar. That's not insurmountable, but then you got this pack here goes all the way down to Gunther, and you got Foster to pretty much the back of the field here. Looking at your teams, you got Campos, he's just overtaking Carlin. 4 points separate them. Got the middle ground to ART right here. Then you got Prema, who've, got a big gap to the Van Amersfoort behind them. Then you got these 4 close together, and then you have Genzer in the back. Alright, so from the car screen, just wanted to show kind of where our parts are currently. We're a little bit lacking in the engines again. We can't really develop any more engines throughout the rest of the year, but we can kind of work on some of these other parts. The front wing we just got that I'm going to show you in a second kind of boosts us up to 7th on the grid, but we're well above average. We need to work on the rear wing, the suspension, and the gearbox, and then maybe make a brake or 2. So here's our new front wing. Got 1543 and a 1563 cap. We're going to build another one of these right after, but we should have this done for the race, and we'll put it on Vettel's car. Alright, so from part design, this is going to be the next front wing that we make, and this will be on our cars for the next round, hopefully. Alright, so getting ready for Singapore, we're putting Ponos on the car. This is just so nice to see now with kind of how our sponsorships are at the moment. Looking here at the tires, 15, 10, 10, and then part fitting, we put the new front wing onto Vettel's car. Anyways, we're going to move on to Singapore. Alright, so getting ready for practice for Singapore. Still have not reached an agreement with Liam Lawson, so we do not have him at the moment, but we're going to I put Albon and Vettel in the car, because duh. And then we're going to focus on the soft tire for practice. Alright, so following practice for Singapore, we have Albon 13th, we have Vettel 8th, and then top of the board is Lewis Hamilton. Alright, so getting ready for qualifying, we have Albon on quali trim level 3, sweet response level 1, and Vettel only is going to have qualifying trim since we're not going to use a soft tire. Setup wise, 98, 98, just a little off on the speed balance, but yeah, overall pretty good. We're going to move on to qualifying. Alright, so Albon begins his first lap. Let's see where he comes out. Hopefully that car does not end up being in the way. It does not look like it is, but we're down almost 2 seconds, 2.4 seconds. Alright, so Albon goes out to start the second lap. We're just doing a rapid fire out of the pits, and then we're going to wait for our final run. Alright, both are up. Both are still up middle sector. Albon goes from 19th to 14th, and Vettel goes to 10th. Alright, so Albon should be starting his lap. We are going to just focus on Vettel, see what Vettel can do. This Vettel seems like he has the pace. They're both up the first sector, both up middle sector. Let's see where Albon finishes. And Albon goes 15th and Vettel goes 9th. Alright, so looking forward to the Singapore Grand Prix, we have the medium tire level 3 on Albon. We have Vettel with the soft tire level 3. My concern is that Vettel might not be able to make it on the one stop, but I want to at least guarantee that Albon can, so that's what we're going to do there with the strategy, and then we're going to focus on just pushing just a little bit coming off the line, and then we're going to immediately go into neutral, just because this track is very, very bad with tire heating. Just the tire temperatures just shoot up through the sky, so we're going to move on to the starting grid. Alright, so your starting grid for the Singapore Grand Prix is Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, Carlos Sainz, Sergio Perez, George Russell, Lando Norris, Pierre Gasly, Sebastian Vettel, Dennis Hauger, Robert Schwartzman, Fernando Alonso, Mick Schumacher, Esteban Ocon, Alex Albon, Yuki Tsunoda, Teo Pourchaire, Danny Ricciardo, Lance Stroll, and Kevin Magnussen. Alright, so we have the 5 red lights ahead of us. I like where we're sitting with our soft tires compared to all these super soft tires, but we have Vettel falling back a lot on this first lap. Jesus, these tire temperatures. We're going to go immediately on to neutral just because these tire temperatures are ridiculous. Alright, so Vettel in 14th. We have about 5 cars in front of us that I think we should be ahead of. You push. That's not smart. We're going to have to conserve. And we're going to let Albon stay on neutral. We only need to make these last till about lap 21, so hopefully Vettel can make them last till 21. Mick Schumacher has crashed out. Alright, we're able to kind of hold our tire wear at a nice point. So we're going to do that with Albon as well, but I feel like Albon's going to be able to bring down the temperatures quicker than Vettel will. So 13th and 15th, not terrible, but not in the points. Hopefully Schwartzman and Hauger kind of fall back to us and get kind of screwed on where their strategy is with the soft tire, or super soft tire, I should say. Alright, we're going to put both of them onto neutral, and we're going to let them both go to the cusp of, oh shit. Alright. Made a mistake there, was not paying attention to the fuel. I think I've done that like 8 times already this season. Alright, so we're going to let Vettel kind of move up. Let's just see what we can do on the neutral until we have to go on to conserve again. We can not keep our eye on Albon at least for a little bit, so. Alright, we're going to put him on to conserve. We're going to watch what Albon does here. Albon's got Schwartzman that came out right ahead of him. That is not good. Not good for Mr. Vettel. As Hauger pits, and Hauger comes out ahead of Albon as well. That's unfortunate. Alright, we're going to just have him flat conserve for at least a lap or two. And then we're going to put Albon on to conserve. It looks like tires are not as bad as I thought they were going to be, which is kind of unfortunate. So we're going to push Vettel. And we're going to have him push in this lap. And we're going to box him for a new set of softs. So we're actually going to have him back up straight out of the pits. Actually, we're going to have Albon back up because I have a feeling that we might even be able to make it on a one stop with, not even a one stop, maybe even a no stopper with him. Alright, we're going to put Vettel onto neutral. We're going to put Albon onto neutral. Going to let them go a little bit here. I said no stopper, that was quite hyperbolic. I think we're going to keep Albon out for as long as we can, and then we're going to box him onto the super soft tire. It looks like we need to just let Vettel kind of push, not push, but go on to neutral for a couple laps, and then just kind of watch what he does. We're going to have Albon attack and then pit in onto the super soft, which says it can last 14 to 16 laps. So we're just going to have Vettel conserve here, just to get the heat out. And then we're going to have you conserve. You as in Albon conserve straight out the box. So Albon's in 14th. Alright, now we're going to start pushing with Vettel. Alright, we just got lapped, so that's good. That means we're going to be able to use more fuel. We're going to let Vettel push as well. Where's Vettel in comparison to the leader? Where is Hamilton? Hamilton is right behind Vettel, so that's awesome. Alright, so we're going to have him go on to backup, and we're going to have him go on low just for a little bit. And we're going to have Albon go neutral and attack. So we're going to have him back up until he gets the blue flag. Until it's gone too. He's going to get caught by... No, he is not going to get caught. Okay, so we're going to have Vettel go push and overtake. Or actually have him go conserve and overtake. And we're actually going to let Albon go on overtake as well. We got to keep an eye on Albon here. Alright, we're going to go conserve just to get some of this freaking tire temperature out. This is ridiculous with this tire temps. Alright, we're going to have Albon conserve. He's got no pressure from behind, but he's not going to be able to attack anybody ahead of him. So we're going to have him go on medium here. We're going to have Vettel go on high just to kind of maintain the engine mode here as he goes and he pushes. Hopefully he can get by Alonso here quickly. You just get one of them here, please. I conserve. They were so close. I said Alonso, that's Ocon. Damn it. Oop, I didn't know that's how that worked. Whoops. Alright, so we have to go on medium now, or have to go on low, actually. We're gonna let Albon push. We're gonna let him attack on low, and we're just gonna leave him on attack, at least for these final couple corners. We're gonna go on medium, we're gonna go on high. Alright, we're gonna have Albon go on neutral. And we're gonna have Vettel come across the line, a disappointing 13th. Alright, so leaving Singapore, we finished 13th and 14th. Gasly gets a 2-point demotion, so he promotes Hauger and Alonso, unfortunately. One position upward for both. So it's essentially just going to double both of their points. So your points are going to be Gasly, Alonso, Hauger, Russell, Perez, Norris, Sainz, your podium, Leclerc, Verstappen, and your winner, Hamilton. Looking at the drivers' standings, we still have the 6th at the bottom of not scored points. Albon is one of them. Vettel still in 9th place. Alonso closes in a little bit. Looking at the top of the board, Hamilton closes in, kind of gets it under that 100-point gap that I think he was over last race. That would be a hell of a Ferrari bottle job if Leclerc does not win this World Drivers' Championship with the 5 rounds remaining. Looking at your Constructors' Championship, Alpine are getting closer to us. They're now within 6 points. Not scored points in the last 2 races. So hopefully we're able to kind of get back on our form that we had before that. Because if not, we could see Alpine and maybe even AlphaTauri kind of do a recharge later on and be able to catch us. Alright, so leaving Singapore, we're going to gain $604,000. Alright, so from the driver's screen, unfortunately, we have insulted Liam Lawson, so he is not going to be our reserve driver. Alright, so since we were unable to sign Liam Lawson, I believe we're just going to try to find an interim reserve driver for the time being. And since we have Honda on the car and we have Red Bull sponsoring, I thought it would be very fitting for us to get a Japanese driver. So we are going to go pick up Ayumu Iwasa. Alright, so we're going to give him the reserve driver status. Yeah, we're just getting one year contract. Team pays all. Give him a really big signing on fee. We're gonna do first, maximum amount of money, and then we're gonna get him probably about like 5,000 per race. You know what? We're gonna go for about 3,500. Alright, so from the pit crew screen, we're going to remove some fatigue crew members and do some rotation, and hopefully hire some people. Also, one of the things that I think I need to remember is we are going to have to be worrying about this refueling stat next year, but it seems like we've got a decent amount of people that can hit that part of the pit stop cycle. Alright, so we've gone through, done some rotation. We're still second on the grid, and that bothers me. Alright, so from the mail, we've got some stuff about the last race in Singapore. We're going to go look at this interview from David Coulthard. Hamilton easily won the last race, winning by 36 seconds. Do you agree with me that F1 is predictable at the moment? Nope. Series is an excellent display of engineering excellence. Alright, so getting ready for Suzuka. Ponos on the car as usual. Tire selection 15, 10, 10. Part fittings, same as last race since we were unable to get any new parts done before Suzuka. Anyways, on to Japan. Alright, so heading into Japan, we're going to do Albon, Vettel, because we don't have a good reserve driver at the moment. And we're going to put soft tires on and focus on that for practice. Alright, so following practice from Suzuka, Albon was 13th, Vettel was 10th, and top of the board was Lewis Hamilton. Alright, so heading into qualifying, we're going to go with level 2 quali trim, level 1 sweeter spots on Albon, and we only have level 2 quali trim for Vettel. Looking at the setup, 98% and about 98% here. We're going to move on to qualifying. Alright, so Albon starts his first lap. Let's see where he ends up. Alright, Vettel out for his second, Vettel and Albon out for their second lap. Let's see where they go. Albon's down his first sector. Alright, he's down his second sector. We're going to just bring him straight back in. And Vettel crosses the line and stays 9th. Alright, so Albon's going to start his lap. We're going to start our lap. We're going to watch and see where Vettel finishes up here. Both are up first sector. Both are up second sector. Albon goes 12th and Vettel goes 8th. Alright, so on the grid for the Japanese Grand Prix, we have Alex Albon on the level 3 soft tire and race trim. Same for Vettel. Setup-wise, both are at 98%. And this is going to be our driver strategy. This is just like Singapore, where we have to be very, very careful about our tire wear, but we're going to go immediately attack out of the gate, and then we're going to back it back down. So your starting grid for the Japanese Grand Prix is Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez, Lando Norris, George Russell, Sebastian Vettel, Pierre Gasly, Dennis Hauger, Robert Schwartzman, Alex Albon, Fernando Alonso, Esteban Ocon, Daniel Ricciardo, Yuki Tsunoda, Teo Pourchaire, Lance Stroll, Kevin Magnussen, and Mick Schumacher. Alright, so here are your 5 red lights. We're the first person on the soft tire. Just gotta make sure that we keep an eye on these temperatures. Yeah, we are immediately skyrocketing these things. Alright, we're gonna go immediately onto neutral. Just gonna keep an eye on Vettel here. We're gonna see what Vettel can do, because we're gonna have to put these on to conserve after a while. Alright, we're going to put both drivers on to conserve. These tires are getting way too hot. And man, Albon's all the way down at 18th. Alright, we got to remember the fuel delta. We got to stop that at about 0.75. Alright, we're starting to get Schwartzman coming up behind us. He's been doing really, really good these last couple of races. Alright, we're going to put Albon onto neutral here and just kind of see if he can move up some spots. He's behind Daniel Ricciardo, and I don't think we should be behind an Aston Martin at the moment. Alright, we got low fuel delta. I did the one thing that I said we were going to focus on. Typical me. Alright, we're just going to see where Albon is at the moment. I said Albon. Alright, his tire temperatures are skyrocketing. He's going to get passed by Pourchaire because we're going to have to go on to back up here with him. Alright, so with the gap we have with Vettel, I'm actually going to put him on to back up here. Same as, why are we on Pourchaire? Albon, he's no longer in our car, Pourchaire. Alright, so we are going to put Vettel onto neutral. We're going to keep Albon on conserve for just a little bit longer, and then we're going to put him onto neutral. So Vettel is moving up some spots here as people start to pit. Hopefully Albon can start to move up through the field. He's got some hard medium compound runners to get by. We might be able to overtake Verstappen here with the Vettel, which would be interesting. Alright, so Vettel safely into 4th. Daniel Ricciardo has crashed out. That is good for Albon. Alright, we got to make these things last another 2 more laps, which I think we can easily do, but we're going to have to put both cars onto conserve. Alright, we got 5th place for Verstappen coming up behind. He's going to make quick and easy work of us. So we got to go by this lap, and we're going to have Vettel pitting in this time. We're going to wait on Albon to come around the final corner, and we're going to have him go onto neutral, and then we're going to tell him to pit. Alright, so we're going to watch Vettel out of the pit lane. We're going to have him... Oh, he's got a problem on the rear left. That's unfortunate. Alright, so we're going to actually, after we see where Albon is... Oh, we are behind Tsunoda and Hauger. Are you kidding me? Alright, we're going to back up. And then we're also going to... I don't think we can back up Albon. Now we are going to do it anyways. Whatever. Alright, so we've handed some bad luck there, and then yeah, we're gonna wait until these tires about hit cold, and then we're gonna go switch over to neutral. That doesn't take long at all as we get onto neutral now. We got Yuki Tsunoda ahead of Vettel here, so hopefully we can see Vettel passing Tsunoda in these next couple laps or so. Hopefully we don't get overtaken by Gasly before then. And we do get passed by Gasly. Ask and you shall receive. We're going to put Albon onto the high engine mode just because he's getting lapped. And we're going to be lapped here pretty soon as well, so we can start using that up as well. Alright, Ocon has crashed out. That's going to help Albon. Albon has crashed out. Okay, yep. That's cool. Alright, so we're just going to focus on Vettel, and speaking of focusing on Vettel, we're going to have him conserve a little bit on these tires. Alright, and while we're conserving, we passed Gasly. That makes no sense, but we do it anyways. Hopefully we can move up in 8th position here, and we do. So we are just going to conserve these tires for a little bit longer just so we can go immediately onto neutral. Alright, so we're going to just... Gotta keep them behind us for a little bit longer. Alright, now we're going to go into neutral. So we got Hamilton coming up behind, and once Hamilton does that, we're going to go on to overtake. And actually, we're going to have him conserve. Just keep those tires cold so we can go onto neutral at the end of the race. He's got the faster McLaren behind us. Do not want to let him by. Alright, so we're going to go into neutral here. Hopefully we can get a little bit of a gap here. We might not get lapped here before the end, but never say never. We're just going to maintain neutral for a little bit longer. Yeah, we're not going to get lapped by Hamilton, so that's going to be good for us. Alright, he's starting to struggle on his tires a little bit. And we're going to go on to high engine mode. Alright, we're going to go to medium. And we hopefully... Let's just go attack, screw it. We're going to come around the final corner. Oh, nope, nope. We're going to conserve a little bit. These tires are getting hot. Use some high engine mode here, just to make sure that we can get Vettel across the start-finish line ahead of Gasly. Go neutral, neutral. And we finished 8th place. Alright, so leaving Japan, we had Albon crashing out of the race, which is unfortunate. We were going to gain from this misfortune that happened to Ocon ahead of us, but Albon followed suit not even like 10 seconds later. We have some spicy developments here for us. Schwartzman finishing in the points. Hamilton getting demoted 8 places. So it seems like every time they get pace, Mercedes, they tend to just put something illegal on the car and they get hit hard for it. So they lose 8 spots. Gasly finishes 8th. That promotes us to 7th. Russell, Norris, Verstappen, your podium, Perez, Leclerc, and your winner, I believe, by demotion is Carlos Sainz. All right, so looking at your point standings, we still have the 6 at the bottom, if not scored points. Schwartzman getting close to Bottas, who has left very early in the season. He's doing a really good job getting those 3 points. Vettel just getting a bit of a gap over Alonso. We're able to get those bigger results than the Alpines typically do. Looking at the top of the board here, Verstappen closes up on Hamilton, but yeah, Leclerc's lead is starting to get a little bit much for the amount of races remaining. Looking at the Constructors' Championship, we are 12 points ahead of Alpine. We are a bunch of points behind McLaren. Red Bull are second in the Constructors' Championship, and Ferrari are currently first. Alfa Romeo getting a decent haul of points, separating themselves from Haas, and Haas seems to have fallen off from being the second worst team to now being probably the worst team on the grid. So maybe we won't see any points out of them, but we still have time left for Aston Martin to come out and do something shocking. All right, so leaving Suzuka, we are going to gain $973,000. All right, so that's the end of the episode. A little bit more tame of an episode than what we had the last two. No crazy driver moves. Everything's kind of settled for the end of the season. We're still trying to get a reserve driver. I thought we were going to get Liam Lawson, but we failed the contract negotiations. So we had not a fantastic race at Singapore. We went 2 races without scoring points, but then we came back to finish 7th in Japan. So it was really, really good for a points haul. With the Hamilton DQ, that really helped us. So we are. I think we're sitting good, but I think we're seeing a little bit of a drop off because we were able to focus on those certain areas of the car that we lacked. So hopefully this kind of dip in performance doesn't continue into next season. We can kind of start next season strong and hopefully be able to kind of get up in the mix with the McLarens and hopefully up near the Red Bulls and the Mercedes. If not, guess we're going to be doing this a little bit longer. Anyways, if you enjoyed today's episode, like, comment, subscribe, all that dumb YouTuber stuff, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week.